everybody, Fangenfeigl here. Tonight I thought I'd do something a little different. I had said in my intro video that this will be partially gaming and partially a bit professional. And tonight I thought I'd show you guys just a little work on how I go through my coloring process. Oh, and we got a new guest. He'll be popping up from time to time to help draw you in. Bit of humor, I guess. But back to the main event. I have a drawing that I have previously put up. Well, previously drawn, rather. And, yeah. I'm also listening to a bit of music here to, help me, because a lot of times when I do color, I tend to like to listen to music or have some kind of ambience going on. And I'll also be popping in, got a couple messages here and there I gotta send. The main focus of this video is going to be doing some coloring. Oh, oops. Hey Ben, just recording a video. Slightly different. Darn this thing. This is very poor professionalism, I'll admit. There we go. Now, back to the main focus of this video. I've got here my drawing. It's a little 3-panel comic that has Mimikyu, Palossand, and Pikipek involved. Oh, and our friendly executor. Now, if any of you have checked out my DeviantArt, you will notice that a lot of my work is pretty well monotone, or not monotone, but single layer. That's because that's mainly just to get a concept out. It's much easier just to get the base color in. Here tonight I'm going to try to make sure I get a little bit of extra detail. And well, simple enough. First step, I'm going to select all and I'm going to do a little fill. I'm going to try to, try to see about doing a nice little color here. Excuse me again, I just had dinner so I'm burping it all up. That's a pretty nice little color there. However, I do feel that maybe I could do a little bit better with it. Maybe instead of having it just a single thing, I can give it a little bit of lighting effect. Nice little gradient. Of course, that is the wrong angle and far too light. Of course, we also have the slight issue of, well, it's 3 panels. That's where a little bit of editing comes in. I'll get it to each of the panels there. And would you look at that? It only hits a specific region. Now I'm going to try to angle this to be a make it kind of look like it's an illumination. Now, of course, I want to also see about maybe giving it a bit more of a hue with the other side. that's one method, but it's not exactly the best method to go with. And I can assume that you guys have a pretty good idea why. As you can see, you know, getting the right texture like that isn't the easiest thing to get. But after you get it, it's pretty easy to figure out getting it the rest of the way. Here I got pretty nice to figure that out. So, you know, I just go ahead and do the same thing. I try to get it in a way that really fits the image. This part of it I usually don't have so much trouble with, but it's been a bit of a while since I actually used my tablet here, or used Photoshop, so I'm a little bit, just a little bit, in the, how to phrase it, in the rough in using this stuff. But, just like riding a bicycle, you can never really forget it. Now, I'm sure you guys saw my slip-up of saying tablet there. This is a Wacom tablet. It's a nice little drawing tablet you can do that kind of stuff with, and you know, you got a little pen that goes with it. But for now, I'm sticking to the mouse so I can try to get this scene as good as possible. At least the basic scene. Now, that's to give it a nice little light ray. It's not really a necessary thing. And I'm sure I'm actually going to probably edit it out later on. Now we get to some more of the meat of it. If you zoom in on this here, you'll see there's a lot of sandy detail around. Now usually I have like 2 layers here to help. Now unfortunately, it is a little bit... That work or no? I don't believe it did. Darn it. Ah, that's why. It's still selected. One of the easiest things to forget to do in Photoshop. Make sure you unselect or deselect something. Now then. That part is done, and I gave it a little bit of an extended accent so you can actually see it pretty much. Now then, next part of the scene, I think you want to go ahead and start coloring the characters. Actually, first off, I think we want to go ahead and work on coloring the sand, which also technically works into starting to color on Palo Sand. Now, on that note, I have taken references to each of the Pokemon in this shot. Oh shoot, is that all underneath? Well, let's just do this real quick and just these. There. Now they are all on top. I'm not usually used to talking to people as I work, so this is throwing me off a bit. Well, there's a Mimikyu, but that's not what I need right now. That is what I need. A little zoomed in on it. We've got a nice full color palette for him. And I'm going to go ahead and use the mighty eyedropper tool to get us a nice sand color. Now, this is when I'm going to start using the brush, which will mean I have to start using my Wacom tablet. Let's see. That's all there. Right here, I think. Now then. It works pretty well because, you know, you feel like you're actually using the brush. And trust me, it does wonders for doing Photoshop stuff. It's moving a little slow because I'm recording, but, you know, usually it's very fast and almost as if you were brushing it right there. Now I'm going to also use a hotkey real quick, and, you know, that was too much. Still too much. It can be a little tricky to figure out the exact point to draw, but at some points it works out perfectly. I'm actually going to zoom in on this real quick so I can actually see more of my lines, which I'll try to see about cleaning up a little bit later. As I'm sure, you know, just as I do, they're not smooth in the slightest. And trust me, this can be very frustrating. But make sure you get the lines just right. But, you know, this early in the development, I don't have to be as careful because I'm going to be coming through and doing a lot more coloring later anyway. This little area is behind him as well. I'm sure you're wondering, am I going to go through and actually highlight these like a pen? Probably not. That would be very time consuming and, well, if I didn't do it before I did this, you know, never gonna do it. It's just a slight little thing about me is my hands are not steady enough physically to do the lines as straight as I need, and usually when I go to ink something, well, let's just say I screw it up royal. So, you know, it's the same with coloring. That's why I prefer to do digital. Let me try that again for you viewers. That's why I try to usually do it digitally. You know, unless I'm, you know, really pouring my heart into doing a fully by hand thing. You know, coloring digitally just, it's a lot better. You know, you see how these colors are. And, you know, if I don't like the colors, I can go back. You know, I can erase them and find a color that I actually think looks really good. Also, it can be oh so difficult to find the right color. Now, I'm sure you've noticed I am slightly off on some of my marks. I go here and I can easily erase that which is going over. I come back to the brush and shrink it. Another nifty thing. And I can be a lot more precise about it too. And obviously, you know, that's not really much I can really get out of this because Pokemon is a licensed product. But I can still get something out of showing you wonderful viewers this stuff. And let's see, eraser. Oh, actually, I don't need the eraser yet. I got a lot more that needs colored in. And then there's the nifty undo function. Always nice. I'm going to be honest with you viewers. I really have no idea where I'm going with this. I didn't have any clue where I was going when I started this. You're along for the ride. Alright, so now there's that. We have a slight issue. We got this major area here. Oh, there's a quick fix to that, you see. I can pick out this, let's see, not that tool. Shoot, which tool is it? This tool. And here? Okay, what's up? Ah, I see. It's gonna be like that, is it? But you know, I can use that nifty tool, and hey, it highlights the entire color. Now I can inverse it, and would you look at that? I can now easily, very easily, wait, darn it. Oh, still, I can easily color in the remaining spaces here with very little to worry about. But I still gotta be careful. You know, I just deselect it and voila. Whoops. Well, there's the first speech. I pretty much, you know, easily I could just copy and paste this. But there's a slight issue. Can you guess what it is? That's right. That thing right here. I don't need that extra space. But there is still an easy way to deal with this. I can easily take that and duplicate it down. And try as close as possible to get in. And a way to fix some of the issues. I can erase what I don't need. Which will require a bit more precision than usual. Now, you know, if this was a lot neater, it wouldn't be nearly as bad of a thing to do. But being that I don't exactly have harsh lines, makes it a little bit harder for me to do something like that. But it still works. Now, I'm also going to erase a bit of the bottom here. Because it's, as you can see, cutting into the bottom part. Honestly, this part, it would be probably a lot better to just, you know, erase what I can and color in what I need to, but I'm trying to be a little bit more precision-y since, you know, I am kind of supposed to be a professional with this kind of stuff. I might argue with, yeah, on that one. This degree of mine means nothing. Please mind my faces. Now, in no way am I going to be telling you this is a fully pristine thing in this video. I'm actually thinking I'm probably going to have to break this video up into a couple parts at this rate. Mainly because I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm pretty darn close. Well, there's, for the most part, the next one. However, there's still a lot of sand that is not covered. So I must I keep wanting to say unselect, but it is deselect. You know, it's pretty much just going to be the same thing again. You know, getting all the regions, and poor Mimikyu here is going to be covered in sand before we get to him. Or her. It's not a gender-specific Pokemon. All I know is I have fallen deeply in love with it. While we're on the topic of Pokemon, though, obviously, what do you think for a name of this guy? I'm thinking Timothy. Timothy Tyrant. I think I'm going to divide this into a basic color and then rest of the color video. Might do more videos of color and drawings too, because I've got a lot to do. The camera's there, not there. I keep looking at my own camera, not looking up at, you know, where it's pointed. Heck, this might even turn into a 3-part video at this rate. No, I'm not going to at all say, you know, I'm a super professional when it comes to this, okay? You know, trying to claim that. I'm far from it. I am so much more of a casual person when it comes to this. I just want to share this stuff with people. I must admit, Palossand's hands during this part. Ooh. It started to drive me crazy when I was working on him. Because, you know, we only really ever get the one reference shot. That's the wrong thing. And, you know, it's got these little holes in it right here. So, you know, I kept fussing with it, trying to get it to work right. See what I mean? You know, I was kept bouncing between if I do, you know, kind of open space, or do I do it where it's got a little bit of a darkness to it? And eventually I just kind of went with that, because, you know, it worked. And what's this? We have a bit of a line. And it does. So we have to go back over and make sure all of this has what it needs. As you know, I'm just going to tell you flat out. if you're doing this kind of stuff and you leave little issues like that in, likelihood is you're gonna get called on it. I'm not trying to say, I'm not gonna get called on something in this, because, I know I am. One thing you gotta remember though is just double check, triple check, and save often. Whoa. I'm just going to go right ahead and color this last one because so much of it is different from the previous ones. Pardon me while I take the obligatory drink. Excuse me. I'm not being as careful over a lot of this coloring just yet because I'm going to be going over it again at a different point. I probably should erase at least that one due to the fact that it's going to be behind. Though, it is entirely possible for me to do a little bit of something else. After all, it is completely possible to do multiple things on one layer. What the? Darn it, that's not what I wanted. And well, here we have sky and sand. Okay, just checking to make sure I was still recording, because, you know, you can never tell with these things. No. That's the basic colors of the sand, i.e. palo sand, but you might think there's something missing. As you'd be very right. We don't have the shovel. So real quick, we're going to go ahead and fill in this shovel. Now, I know what I just said about, you know, doing multiple things on the same layer. But due to the positioning of the shovel here, I figured it would probably be easiest to do it behind. Just so, you know, make sure we keep the integrity of the Pokemon in place. Oh, forgot to switch colors back. Excuse me. Now I see all the first stuff I do when you guys don't see the camera. I guess you're still watching. Yeah, that was a bad line. I'm sure many of you guys probably aren't interested in this as much as you are in my game videos, but you know, I just want to show you guys a different side of me. And I probably will finish up doing just the basic colors here and then, you know, get into some more dynamic stuff in another video. Now, you know, it's pretty obvious that we got an exclamation point in here too. For that, I'm going to go for probably a very bright red. Just something to kind of contradict the blue background behind us. I'll be adding some accents and such to it too. I'm thinking maybe a little bit of a purplish color for the question mark. I could always have gone for the green, but then you guys might be thinking something slightly more devious. Anybody who's a superhero fan will probably have a good idea what I'm talking about. Alright, so we got the exclamation point and the question mark, and we're actually now going to go behind the work with me, the sand, to get to our good old friend who's in the background. Actually zoom out for a bit so we can make this a little bit easier on us. Let's see, which one was that? Nope, don't want that one or that one. I really should have labeled these. Another lesson for you guys. Make sure you label stuff. It'll bite you in the butt if you don't. You know, this one's pretty self-explanatory, you know, just, you know, grab some of the good old colors And, you know, go ahead and color in this grass dragon. I'm going to tell you, this is the first time I've ever really tried doing this comic format seriously, not just for a school assignment or something. So, yeah, just remember that when you're critiquing me. Well, since I brought it up earlier, might as well ask. Those of you guys who are superhero fans, what's your preference? You guys a Marvel or a DC fan? Personally, I like more Marvel. Though, gotta say my favorite characters are Spider-Man and Batman. Alright, well, there's the basic tree trunk down. Now we switch colors. Now we know what happens when you put the lime in the coconut, but what happens when you put a little bit of solar power into the coconut Pokemon? How about we put a little bit of shock into it too? Maybe some ice? That's starting to sound like it'd be some kind of drink. Anywho. Let's see. Now then. It's pretty easy to get the colors now that they're established. Wrong key. Now that seems a little dark, I think, so I'm going to pull a little bit of creative liberty and lighten up the leaves a little bit. Now, always a painful thing, this doesn't matter if it's being done digitally or if it's being done by hand, but you know, you can draw these awesome things. Then you have these little sections that are almost impossible to get colored in. And if you mess up even the slightest bit, it could easily ruin it. Alright, I got a question for you guys who are watching this. Whoops. I've been considering branching out a little bit more, a little bit further than doing games and further than this. You know, how would you guys feel if I started doing like top 10s or that kind of stuff? Well, there was the first. No, it's definitely far from good. There's first tree. Well, pretty much I'm going to do the same thing for the remaining. This one's going to be a bit more of a pain though because scale. It's so good to get scale, but at the same time it's such difficult. I guess somebody peeled that tree. guess its bark was worse than its bite. And if anybody's asking, yes, I'm alright. Maybe a little crooked in the head, but I'm alright. That's just the sound meant to be like a record scratch for a horrible joke. Usually when I do color these things, I try to, I do a very, I was going to say very basic, but not that basic. I pretty much just, I trace the outline. Oops. One thing, though, about the Wacom tablets, you gotta be very mindful. As if you're not careful, you can accidentally draw over a section. Now, what I'm thinking I'm going to do for this video is I think I'm going to just, get the primary colors on them, on all the Pokemon. And, from there, next time I will get on to, the details, like, the eyes and that kind of stuff. And, if not in that video, in a following one, I'll be sure to do actual highlights and details. Because there's no way I'm going to just do this and then not do that. I am serious about doing this. Give me that look. It was a lot lighter there. Oh well. No, not oh well. I can't let that stand. Select color range. Oh yikes. What's up with that? There we go. That is so much better. That's too far. Yes, one of the many joys of digital coloring. You can do something like that and just save your butt. Now then, undo, and what do you know? Looks pretty darn good. Now then, you gotta go up and get that foliage. Mind the dogs, they bark at just about everything. This has probably been a very long-winded video. But what can I say? It's probably been a very long and probably very boring video for you guys, but it's a test. This and the following ones are all just tests and trying something new. Now let's see. There's some slight errors. Which are easily fixed like that. Just a bit there. One problem about autoplay and YouTube, which, ironically, that's probably how you found your way here. But, ironically, it does have a bit of a bad thing about, just jump into stuff that, is completely different from what you usually go to. Un momento, everybody. Now I'll just listen to that. But back to what's important. I just, kind of just keep coloring in this guy. After him, there are 2 more to go. Made a slight miscalculation here. Now I still need that. Alright, now we finish this off. Well, there's that, but I did notice a slight error. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have this just cleaned up a bit. Alright, well, I have everyone but Mimikyu and Pikipek done. However, I'm pretty sure this video has gone on for at least an hour, if not longer. If it hasn't, well, it's certainly darn close. So I'm going to head and cut it here. I'm going to finish up the remaining characters, and then I'm going to head on to the next part. Till then, this is Fang and Feigl. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for staying for this time. And thank you for helping me introduce our new buddy. Until the next time, Fang and Feigl out.